Thanks for tuning in on Brock Page, and if you want to save yourself some time, check out my picks for this video in the description section below. Once again, I'm not a sports betting expert, I'm just a fan. That said, let's get into some picks for the 15th. First game I have for you, San Antonio -11 at Orlando. Total points are at 205.5. In addition to covering against the Spurs, earlier in the year, the Orlando Magic is an astounding 83% at the current point spread. They're also a very impressive 75% against the spread, facing teams giving up less than 99 a game. If you're betting the total points, both teams collectively averaged 210 total combined points in their last 4 games respectively. All that said, I'm taking Orlando plus 21 in teaser number 1. Next game, Philadelphia plus 11 at Boston. Total points jumped up to an even 218. If you're betting the spread, Boston's failed to cover in their previous 2 meetings with the Sixers. Boston's also failed to cover in 5 games at the current point spread so far this year. If you're betting the total points, both teams have collectively averaged just 215 total combined points in their last 4. All that said, I'm taking Philadelphia plus 21 in teaser number 1. Next game I have for you, Portland plus 7 at Utah. Total points drop down to 204.5. If you're betting the spread, Portland's an impressive 75% at the current point spread. They've also successfully covered in their first matchup with the Jazz. My magic number is 211 in this one. All that said, I'm moving the line and taking Portland plus 17 in teaser number 1. Next game I have for you, Atlanta plus 3 at the LA Clippers. Total points drop down to 212.5. If you're betting the spread, Atlanta covers a solid 67% as the underdog. They've also successfully covered the spread in 2 of their last 3. When it comes to the total points, my magic number is just 212 in this one. All that said, I'm moving the line and taking Atlanta plus 13 in teaser number 1. Next game I have for you, Lakers plus 4.5 at Phoenix. Total points drop down to an even 225. If you're betting the spread, the Suns cover just 22% of their games as the favorite. If you're betting the total points, both teams have collectively averaged just 218 total combined points in their last 4 games respectively. All that said, I'm taking the Lakers plus 14.5 in teaser number 2. Next game, Indiana plus 6 at Cleveland. Total points jumped up to 219.5. If you're betting the spread, the Cavs covered just 20% in the second half, or in the second game of a back-to-back. If you're betting the total points, both teams have collectively averaged a healthy 229 total combined points in their last 4. All that said, I'm taking Indiana plus 16 in teaser number 2. Next game, Dallas plus 5 at Detroit. Total points are at an even 201. If you're betting the spread, Detroit covers an amazing 80% against teams giving up 99 to 102 a game. If you're betting the total points, both teams have collectively averaged 207 total combined points in their last 4. All that said, I'm moving the line and taking Detroit at plus 5 in teaser number 2. Next game, Milwaukee minus 5.5 at Brooklyn. Total points drop down to 218.5. Despite their pure obscurity, Brooklyn has successfully covered the spread in 2 of 3 meetings against the Bucks. Speaking of which, Milwaukee covers a pitiful 16% of their games at the current point spread. If you're betting the total points, my magic number is just 213. All that said, I'm moving the line and taking the hapless Brooklyn Nets plus 15.5 in teaser number 2. Next game, Charlotte plus 6.5 at Toronto. Total points drop down to an even 212. Currently, 64% of the money's on Toronto. Speaking of which, the Raptors cover an impressive 70% in the second game of a back-to-back. On the other side, Charlotte covers just 26%, facing teams giving up more than 102 a game. When it comes to the total points, my magic number is just 210 total. All that said, I'm moving the line and taking Toronto plus 3.5 in teaser number 3. Next game, Miami plus 9.5 at Houston. Total points jumped up to 222.5. Along with covering against Houston in their first matchup, the Miami Heat are a remarkable 80% at the current point spread. When it comes to the total points, my magic number is just 220 points total. All that said, I'm moving the line and taking Miami plus 19.5 in teaser number 3. Next game, New Orleans plus 8 at Memphis. Total points jumped up to an even 206. Currently, 61% of the money's on Memphis, who's 2-0 against the spread, facing New Orleans. The Grizzlies have also successfully covered in 4 of their last 5. My magic number is 210 in this one. All that said, I'm moving the line and taking Memphis +2 at home in teaser number 3. Next and final game, New York +7 at OKC. Total points jumped up to 218.5. OKC's a staggering 15-3 against the spread, facing teams winning less than 45%. My magic number's 222 in this one. All that said, I'm moving the line and taking OKC +3 at home in teaser number 3. Well, folks, that is going to do it for me. Once again, I have to remind you that I am not a sports betting expert, nor do I implore you to take any of my picks. If for some reason you decide to use the information on this program, you're utilizing it at your own discretion. Most importantly, if you're betting any of these games, do it safe, do it responsibly, and most important, have fun. For Brock Page Predictions and Sports Picks, I'm Brock Page, and have yourself a positive day.